Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to talk about the SQL API endpoints. This is the second video from Snowflake SQL API playlist. About the SQL API endpoints, here is the agenda. What is an API endpoint? And we'll discuss about SQL API endpoints. What is an API endpoint? An API endpoint is a digital location where an API receives request about a specific resource on its server. Please note that here API is nothing but application programming interface which communicate the between two applications. From one application, if you want to establish the connection between two applications, we have to use the API. In the APIs, an endpoint is typically a uniform resource locator called URL that provides the location of a resource on the server. If you see the below diagram, here assume that this is the client. From the client, we will send the request to server and server send back the response to the client. So this entire process will do from API. So we are going to use the SQL API to read the data or send the request to Snowflake server or Snowflake data warehouse. SQL API endpoints. We'll discuss what are the what is the SQL API endpoints in Snowflake. The SQL API is available at https account identifier dot snowflakecomputing.com API, where account underscore identifier is your account identifier. For example, assume that this is your Snowflake URL. So in this URL, account identifier is this one. Okay, so which is highlighted in yellow color. Beginning with Snowflake version 6.3, this is the version Snowflake version. The API consists of the API slash v2 slash statements resource and provides the following endpoints. We'll discuss the what are the endpoints, but here in version 6.3 onwards, we have a v2. Prior to that, API v1 version was there. Okay, so I think how to find the version in Snowflake, as we all know that we have a different types of editions like standard edition, enterprise edition, business critical and VPS. Similar way, in each edition we have a Snowflake version. How to know the Snowflake version? By using the select current version. After logging to your Snowflake, you can execute the select current version, then you will get to know what is the your version from your Snowflake version. Here 7.444.2, so which is greater than version 6.3. So we have to use v2 resource. Okay, here are the endpoints in Snowflake. Okay, this is the one endpoint, API v2 statements. This endpoint, what is the use of, this endpoint, use this endpoint to submit SQL statements for execution. So submit the SQL statements like select statement, insert statement, update statement, or merge statement, delete, or call statement. Any procedure, if you want to execute a procedure from this API SQL API endpoints, we have to use the API v2 statements. After that, you have to call your statement. And the second endpoint, API v2 statements statement handle. Okay, statement handle is nothing but this. Use this endpoint to check the status of the execution of a statement. So you might have submitted statements and you want to check the what is the status of that particular statement, then we have to use this endpoint. Okay, the statement handle is a unique identifier for the statement submitted for the execution. So for each statement, when you submit from SQL API, so the statement handle is the unique unique ID. And third statement, so third endpoint is the API v2 statement handle cancel. So this endpoint is used to cancel the execution of a statement. So if you want to cancel, for example, you might have submitted more than one as statements from the SQL API, and if you are been taking the more time and then you have been asked to cancel that request. Then from using this endpoint, you can cancel the execution of a statement. So these are the three endpoints available in Snowflake to submit the SQL statements to Snowflake. Yeah, that's all from this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like it and share it to your friends. Thank you once again for watching this video.